May seem a little off base, but I noticed when reading through several of your pieces, and especially your book, My Anecdotal Life, food.
By the way, I want you to know, I keep playing. Do you see my playing up here? Anybody notice that I'm playing with? I want to show you what I'm playing with.
Are you doing the tablecloth?
No, I'm saying, you're interested. You guys must have to be interested in everything. There's a little thing here. So you see the shine, and it's the only not smooth part. I keep rubbing, and so that's what I'm doing. Okay. So there you see me doing this. That's right there. I'll keep my hand away from that.
So you're getting the lingering laugh.
Yes.
That's good.
But here's a good rule of thumb. Anything is funny if you point to it, play with it, and fool around with it. You can make anything funny. And we just got a laugh out of a little. Yeah, I'm teaching myself something. Even pointing to something as insignificant, a little bread on a table, and talking about it in such a way, we got. You see, you smiling yet? Okay.
That's the one. That's what everyone's going to remember.
And now every time I do that, you're going to laugh.
That's the one everyone's going to remember.
Touch it. See?
It's directed.
There's a lesson in comedy, isn't it? I'm teaching myself lessons in comedy. Go, 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 girl.
You're making me laugh too hard. Food. Food seems central in many of your stories, especially in My Anecdotal Life.
In my life, too. I eat 3 meals a day.
And so what is up with the food? What is it about food that helps a good story?
Well, it shows people as they are. You know, you see shows where people do not eat, they do not go to the bathroom, they do not do any of the normal things. If you do the normal things while you're doing normal things, they'll say those are real people. You know, this has nothing to do with anything. But my friend's mother, a Jewish woman, was watching a movie, a very elegant movie, with somebody in, beautiful lingerie in bed, and the husband was going to treat her that night, or the husband or the wife would treat the other one. They brought a tray to bed of food, and the person wakes up, oh, darling, what did you do? And he puts the tray, and she starts eating, and this woman said in Yiddish, "And Pischen darf man nicht," and you don't have to pee. I mean, isn't that a great line? But if the reality was, you would love it if somebody brought you a thing and she'd say, "Just a minute, dear," and walked off and went in the other room and continued the scene from the other room. You didn't have to see what they're doing, but that would be honest. That would be, I would do it that way. I would actually do it that way. As a matter of fact, I did a scene.
Did you do it like that?
Yeah, the end of a movie called The Comic with Dick Van Dyke. I remember doing this and being assiduous about it. He gets up 4 in the morning. He has his clock set. He's very old now. He was a big movie star, and he's now living in a one-room apartment. He's ruined his life by marrying the wrong people and being drunk at one time. Whatever it is, his life is ruined. Now he's a very old man with no hair, and he goes to bed at night, and he shuts his clock for 4 in the morning, and you wonder why. And he gets up and out of bed, he turns on the television, and he goes into the bathroom, and you hear the tinkle. and we wanted to show honesty. If he got out of bed and sat and watched television at 4 in the morning, everybody who knows about life would say, "And Pischen darf man nicht," yeah. And the Gentiles, and the English would say, "And you don't have to urinate." And so that tinkle was sounding while the set was, we were on the set, and the set heats up, and he comes back, and he watches himself as a young man at the end of a movie called Forget Me Not. It was a movie, very sad movie, where he goes down the road waving goodbye. And a lovely, sad movie. But I put that tinkle in, I said, because that's for real. That's for real. And we always know when it's not for real. It's even things like that, especially things like that.
Especially things like that. I was wondering if you could tell us, because you just mentioned another film that you worked on, and as I mentioned earlier, you've done plays, you've done novels, you've done records, you've done the whole gamut. What would you say is the universal feature of a good story across all these different mediums? What do you need?
If it touches you, and the only thing that touches people is if it's real. It could be outlandish, it could be impossible, but the people have to react. I take impossible situations, but put real people in impossible situations. They should react the way you would react if you were there. I used to say in the Van Dyke Show, this isn't likely, but it's possible. And if it's possible, how would I react if this happened? You know, if you saw a space, you know, there was, why did I think of that? Worse, there was a guy upstairs who had a toy factory, and he thought he was seeing a flying saucer through the window because it kept flying by. Yeah, that was, but it was possible. Reacting as a human being to any outside influence, whether it's ridiculously crazy or just regular, and behaving like you would behave. And everybody knows that. If you behave differently than you would behave, you'd say, there's something wrong with this. You may not know what's wrong with it, but I wouldn't react that way. You know, you don't want people that are not that special. Everybody has the same, you know, they used to say about the, I still can't believe that some presidents do go to the toilet, but they do go to the toilet. You know, we say that, we put our pant legs on the same way. Royalty doesn't go to the toilet. That's different. Yeah, that's right. I forgot, they don't go.
Stuffy British folk.
Hey, all of a sudden I look up there, there's a guy who looks just like me. They're marvels of television.
Good looking man.
Yeah, not bad. He looks about 88.
Except he keeps playing with the table.
Yes, they don't see that. But cut below frame, that's right.
Well, speaking of keeping it real and things that seem impossible but are possible, when I was reading My Anecdotal Life recently last week, there was a chapter where you tell a story about inadvertently making fun of a man who had a stroke.
Oh, yes.
And at the end of the chapter, you say, "Dear reader, if you ever happen to bump into me, please ask me to perform this story because you think it performs better than it reads."
Oh.
Would you indulge us?
Oh, yes, okay. I was 17 or 18 years old, and I was hired to be in a Shakespearean touring company, the Avon Shakespearean touring company that toured the South, starting in Atlanta. And all the actors came to Atlanta, and we were being interviewed by Harold Selman, who was an old Shakespearean actor who had acted with the Southern and Marlowe group, which was the greatest group of Shakespearean actors. They used to play for, it's interesting that Shakespeare was played for in the hinterlands for cowboys, and really the people on the range loved Shakespeare because there was always dueling and fighting, and the language was not past them. They would really understand the language because it's not that hard if you get a feeling about it. Anyway, so this was this Shakespearean touring company, and this Mr. Selman, who called me up, one by one he called us up and to see if we had the chops, you know, we could sound like we could do Shakespearean talk. He didn't know who these actors were from New York. And so he put his face this close to mine, and he said, and this, I'll impersonate him. He said, "Say after me," just like that. Say after me. Wanted me to repeat what he said. And he had a hand that, when he started to talk, it started to shake, like as if he had palsy. But he was doing this character. He says, "Now is the winter of our discontent, the glorious summer by the fun of York." And he tapped me on the head and he says, "Say." As he wants me to say it like that. So I said, "Now is the winter of our discontent, the glorious summer by the fun of York." And he tapped me on the head again. He says, "Very good." And I thought it was, you know, I thought it was marvelous that I did exactly. And my friend Gene Lyons, who was a wonderful actor, he was in the wings, and I walked off feeling very good about myself. And I said, "Huh?" He said, "What'd you do?" I said, "I did exactly what he said I should do." He says, I don't think he wanted you to impersonate his stroke." And I felt like such a schmuck. Anyway,